Hey guys, it's Battle again. I'm making another video from our past couple wars. We are currently on a pretty good win streak right now. We had a loss a little bit while back, but we're at 9, I believe it is. And I want to show this war. This is a pretty good one. We were struggling for a good long while, but we had some great attacks in the end. I'm going to go from the bottom up. I want to show a couple of them starting with number 17 from Jhenace. I like a lot of what Jhenace is doing here. He likes to use Quake, and you'll see that in this attack. But when you use Quake, you don't really give yourself any space to have Poison, so you have to kind of improvise with your CC kill. And I like what he does. He only has level 4 wizards, but he's still using a bunch of archers to try to distract the dragon and the other archers from the CC, and then he just kind of surrounds them with his wizards. And you can see the way he does it is pretty good. He loses a couple archers, which is no big deal because he only loses one wizard and the other two survive there. So then he starts his little funnel with his golem, gets it on the inside. You can see the quake was already put down, and he's got 16 hogs to go in, along with these Valkyries he just put into the center right there too. The Valkyries do a fantastic job just being part of the kill squad. So they really get in, they help clear out some space and defenses, and the enemy Barb King, which doesn't really affect hogs too greatly at Town Hall 8 level, but it is something you want to get it out of the way. You really just don't want him beating up on the hogs because hogs won't retarget him until all the defenses are down. So he uses his heals mostly on the kill squad to keep those Valks alive in the middle. Because we used to always use heals on the hogs, but the idea of this is that the kill squad's taking all the fire for the most part. So those hogs come in kind of surgically, and they don't really get a lot of hits put on those hogs. You saw a couple of them die early on, and some springs take out the other ones right there. But for the most part, they are clearing out the defenses without even having to use a heal on them. So he does end up only with like 3 hogs left at the end of this, but his Valkyries are pretty much all still there. So this ends up being a smooth 3-star attack. And there's really nothing this other guy could have done to stop Jhenace. It's a pretty good attack. So to fast forward, he's got a little bit of cleanup here to do. Left a hut over here somehow. I know he came in from that side. But that is a 3-star attack. Now I want to look at Timbo. Timbo just jumped up to Town Hall 9, but in this video, he's still a Town Hall 8. He does use poison, and I want to show you this one because this is poison perfection, what he does. Now he gets the double bomb trip, which is stupid that it was out there to begin with. But check out what he does. Aleface is another one of our people that does this poison kill just like this. And again, it only uses a couple archers, but you just put down that poison. Obviously, with the update a while back, troops won't stay in that poison. But as soon as you just keep putting one by one here and there, that dragon's going to kind of hover in there. And you can see it's taken down a lot of the health on its own. But then with that distraction, he put in the wizards. The wizards help take it out. And then he starts within his attack. So he's got 22 hogs to back up his little kill squad right here. He already had the double bombs. So he really doesn't need the kill squad to do much. And this is why I say the Barb King doesn't affect hogs too greatly. Now, if you're a Town Hall 9, you have to take out the enemy queen. But Town Hall 8s, they don't have to worry too much about it. So you can see he put all of these hogs in surgically, and it's just kind of imploding the base, making everything come down into the core. It's almost like he funneled the hogs to get them all, kind of to the center. And then his outside ones right here, taking out the other defenses. And this is pretty smooth, honestly. He did use a heal to keep those hogs alive. That's pretty smart. And these last couple defenses are going down, and now they'll target that Barb King. And that's it. I mean, that Barb King's going to go down real quick, and there's still plenty of hogs. Now, the hogs do a great job of cleanup, too. The only problem is they do, for the most part, stay together. So when you do an attack like this, you have to make sure, and you can see he's doing an awesome job of this, you have to make sure that you bring some extra archers, extra wizards, whatever, just for the end game cleanup, because it's the worst thing in the world to see a beautiful attack like this end in 99% because you left a hut in the corner and they just didn't get to it on time. But this one I'm showing because it was almost flawless at this point. Easy takedown, easy cleanup. Good job, Timbo. Now I want to show, I'm obviously not going to show all of them because that's too much time to begin with. But also because a lot of our strategy, we're using the same kind of attack because it's very, very effective. This one right here is what people are calling HGBH, which Sultan is doing a good job of using this. It does require the healers on the giants instead of doing like a queen walk or whatever. And especially for him, that's good because you can see his heroes are level 10 and 11, which isn't bad. You can still do a queen walk with a level 11 queen. I would do it a lot of times with like my level 12 queen on my alt account. Um, but you can't really rely on her a lot of times because you're going to have to use the ability a lot quicker, and then sometimes she'll go down. In this case, though, he doesn't lure or anything like that because his hogs are going to be just fine. But the poison helps take down all the loons that were right there. He's got some hogs to go in on the backside. But you can see his giants stay alive. The giants are doing the same thing the hogs would do. They target just the defenses. So they're just kind of going straight through this base. The heroes are doing some cleanup, and those bowlers are definitely, the range on them is really helping because they're taking out things on the left and right that you probably wouldn't have the Giants do. You see that the Giants just completely stayed away from that sweeper, which is okay because he's going to enter in some hogs here in just a second at that. But this attack is almost overpowered the way it is. I mean, it's we're not using a lot of it, but Sultan is really getting a really good handle of it right there. And Rage and the heal come in a little bit later. Rage does a lot of good, if you don't know already, with healers. I mean, sometimes I see our attacks and I kind of criticize some attacks because people are dropping down heals when they still have like healers on their Valkyries or on their heroes or whatever. And if you just put down a Rage, well, you're going to get the heroes or the Valkyries, whatever you're hitting. You're going to get them to boost as well, but those healers behind them are healing them at a greater rate as well. So you really don't need to drop an actual heal a lot of times. In that case, he did because he had the hogs up there. The hogs were not getting the healer range at all, so the heal did work. But then the rage on the backside of it helped the giants and the healers get through this. So it's really simple attack, not a lot to it, and this one didn't even seem like it was perfected, but it's just a very, very powerful attack. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this. I know Sultan's going to keep doing this. He's doing fantastic. I can't wait to see his healer or his heroes get higher level as well. Now, the next one I want to show is Dex. Dex has been doing a fantastic job recently, and this is more of our strategy right here. He is going to lure first, and you can see this clan, they did a lot of loons and minions, and it was smart. He made sure to get a full pull on that CC, and I'll show you one quick attack, which I did later. I didn't get a full pull, and it really kind of concerned me later, and I got kind of lucky in a way. But you got to make sure. You got to make sure you always get a full pull. One or two spare minions in there could accidentally wreck an attack. But Dex did a fantastic job. It was part of his planning. He had the hogs only for the reason to lure the CC. Now minions are a great troop with our attack strategy. You can see they only cost 2 troop space, but if there's no air bombs in the area that you're going for and no archer towers in specific spots, they do a fantastic job clearing some space. So now he left only a couple buildings over here on the right side, you can see, and that's exactly where his mass Valks are going to come in. So now the healers are still on the hero, the queen, and that's going to be just fine because that's why he has the actual heal spells that he brought with him. But those rages, you can see the rage really helped everything get through the walls, all the Valkyries. But then the healers do retarget, which is okay, and a lot of times it's actually really, really good to do it that way. And he drops another heal spell up there, right beside those Valkyries that didn't have any healers on them. And then he also drops the wizards in the side, and you can see that. That's really important a lot of times, and a spare minion right there too, because you really got to make sure that you clear outside buildings so that your Valkyries don't run wild on the outside. You want them to stay on the inside, just clearing out all these defenses, and especially under rage, because like I just said, they just pretty much walk through walls when you have a rage down. So this turns out to be a fantastic attack. You can see they do end up going on the outside, but at this point, he's got plenty of time left and only a few more defenses, but plenty of Valkyries alive. So no matter what is over there, another giant bomb or whatever, He has no problem clearing this out, and that's another 3-star attack. Real smooth, real simple, real easy. Alright, I'm not going to show you both of my attacks. I only want to show this one. I'm not even going to show you any battle attacks. But this one is a popular base from a while back. It shouldn't still be around because it's not really that great of a base. And I checked out some YouTube videos before I hit it, and some of the YouTube videos showed people using Go Wee Wee, and that was before the update when they killed witches, which I'm still upset about. So I never use witches anymore at all. But you can see on this one, the idea that I was doing is I'm going to have my queen walk up to the 12 o'clock spot. And I want to have my Valkyries walk the entire round of the base all the way around and meet up with my queen. But I didn't pull the CC completely. So those 2 extra minions I have became huge because I dropped them as soon as I saw that minion coming out. Now this is interesting. I took a golem in my CC, which I usually don't do, but I thought, I know I have a ground expo right there that was going to end up hitting my Valkyries, which it did. But I wanted the tank to take all this firepower over here, which is why I set it ahead of the Valkyries. And sure enough, it works out perfectly. That ground expo starts targeting my tank, or my golem, and it stays on there for pretty much the rest of the entire attack. So my Valkyrie's just clearing space. My queen's up there doing work too. I still have lots of spells left, and I wanted to put the spells down in my corners where the wizard towers were, because I knew my Valkyrie's going to spend most of the time over in those corners, clearing out the spaces and probably taking splash damage at least, and that was the biggest concern for me. So now, I wanted them all to meet up here. My queen's a little bit slow because she's only level 12, so she's not clearing out a lot of space. So a couple Valkyries retarget the enemy AQ, and I decided to drop in the raids at that point, just to take her out real quick so she doesn't become a pain at all. But then you see, my golem does start going in, keeps tanking, and everything all comes together. Now, I saved some back-end hogs, and I'm waiting until those Teslas can start targeting my Valkyries and my Golem. So that way, when I put in these hogs right over here on this wizard tower, I know that they're not going to go down before they can really clear everything out. And that one wizard tower is not going to be enough defense to take down my 6 hogs. So it worked out perfectly. You see the Golem, the Expo, the Teslas, they don't even touch my hogs. The next thing that actually hits my hogs is this wizard tower, but that's it. That's the last defense I had to worry about. Game over for that guy. Alright, so like I said, not going to show my other attack there. You can see we had TC, fantastic attacker. He dropped down to 8 just to make sure we cleared everything out. We got a lot of people doing things like that just to make sure we're getting what we need to get out of this. I want to show Hoid on 4. Now, I was talking earlier about the minions being great to set the edge, and this is 5. This is not the one I want to show, my mistake. But this is the one. Minions, he doesn't use minions in this case to set the edge. He uses a baby dragon, which also works really, really well. So he gets the enemy CC pulled, and there's really nothing over here to stop that BD from going around and clearing some space. But the idea was really good about the baby dragon is nobody's really going to put one of those black air bombs out on the outside. They usually put them inside, right beside the air defense. That way, if you have a Go Lava or Lava Hound, whatever, coming in, it can try to kill that quicker. But a lot of times people will put the red air mines out there, I like to do that at least, to clear out any minions. The baby dragon can absorb that and still take a lot of the junk buildings on the outside out. You see that one right there did hit him. Now what's great about this attack, he freezes that back Inferno, and you can see a lot of his Valkyries are losing health, and if he hadn't have done that, he might have lost a lot of them. But then he kind of like raged through the first one, healed through the back end, and now all of his Valkyries are pretty much at full health. So he's got tons of cleanup on the outside. I mean, this is just like a flawless attack right here. It's really nothing. That giant bomb's not going to take those Valkyries out. There's not a lot of defenses still going, and those that are out there are targeting the queen or that baby dragon. I mean, it's just going to be a smooth sailing from this point because he's got plenty of time. He only needed 30 seconds left, and I think this attack he still had like a minute and a half. So you can see everything's coming together. It's going to speed up a little bit because it all takes a little turn over here and takes everything down. So that was a Town Hall 10 that Hoid took down, and he's doing really, really well at that. All of our Town Hall 10s right now, they're 3-star specialists at other Town Hall 10s, which is not easy. All right, I also want to show TC on 3, because like I said, TC's been doing a fantastic job, and this one specifically is a really nice attack. These donut bases are not easy. TC's got a level 40 AQ. I like right away, as soon as that Archer Tower targets his AQ, he puts down the wall breakers and gets them in on the inside. He's going to have to deal with that golem for a little while, but you can see there's not a lot of point defenses hitting his Archer Queen, so he's going to be just fine. But now, the problem is, you can see he's setting the edge over here with his Archer Queen. The other edge needs to be set at about the 12 o'clock spot. That's why I want to show this one specifically, and it was just such a well thought out attack. He gets his BK in there, but he brought with his CC a couple max bowlers. These guys do a fantastic job at setting this edge. Because if you don't set the edge, when he does put in his Valkyries, and you can see he's got 18 Valkyries, they could just run wild all around the base. And then the problem is those Infernos are just going to roast him as they're doing that. But as soon as he gets everything out here on the outside done, which he does do a good job of doing that, then he can put a little jump spell in, put all of his Valkyries in, and they go straight to the core for the most part. I was worried right here when he starts losing his healers to that air defense, but it still comes together perfectly. So the Valkyries are clearing out some space. That BK kind of makes them come toward it a little bit more, and then into the core they go, and that was a perfect rage spot. It pretty much keeps them raged the entire time that they're in the core, and they've got plenty of stuff just to, occupy their time. I don't like when people put Teslas right beside each other, especially with Valkyries the way that they are these days, because, obviously Valkyries are going to go in between them, so they take out both Teslas at the same time. So, his healers are gone. His his Archer Queen is still, three quarters of a life ahead of her. She doesn't have the ability anymore, but being at level 40, she can still kind of absorb these hits and keep pushing through. So everything comes together. That's another 3-star attack. Didn't look perfect, but the planning was fantastic behind that. So that's why it really got him all the way through this base. All right, and the last but not least, I'm going to show you Kramer, our big dog on number 1. Kramer's been doing an awesome job with these bowlers. Now, this base that has some single Infernos, I believe both of those are single. He goes ahead and he drops down his max jumps because they're going to stay there for a good solid while, so the time issue is not really a big problem there. And he uses 2 different distractions, his Golem right away and that Giant, so that way he can get the wall broken right away. So then all of his bowlers come in, and this kind of attack strategy is really just hard to defend. He's got some healers on the back end of those bowlers. He's getting used to this Warden now, and that ability saves everything from taking any damage. Even with an Inferno on it, there's really nothing you can do once you hit the Warden ability. It's gonna protect everything. I don't know how long that lasts, maybe 2 seconds, but nonetheless, it does a good job at that. So this is not fast forward. This is normal speed, but you can see that entire core is just decimated. There's like nothing left, and so he's just kind of mowing through this base. Some bowlers went on the outside. That doesn't become a problem at all because they're like cleanup at this point. His healers are now on his heroes, so he has his ability left with his queen. When you see that, you're like, man, there's no shot for this guy to even do anything left. Even if everything starts hitting the queen, she's going to be just fine. And it gets through this base, not a problem at all. This is their number 1, so this is their absolute hardest base to hit. And Kramer just does a smooth job of it, takes it down, no big deal. Plenty of time for cleanup. He does end up losing all of his bowlers, but they did the job that they came to do. So Warden and Queen just cleaning up. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, because now there's only a couple buildings to take care of. And that is another 3-star attack. So that's about all I'm going to show you guys from this war. I got another one to show you guys. I'm going to make another video here in just a second from one of the most intense wars that I've seen. But this one was a very solid team effort. Like I said, saw a lot of people dropping down to clear bases, and then just couldn't hang with us. The top person that they attacked on Kramer was their number 3 at a 39%. That's not good, but Kramer's got a fantastic base. So all right, that's it for this war.